Welcome to a brand new podcast. And as always, this is the Oracle 19. And my name is Mr. Greatness. For any business inquiries, as I mention weekly, if you want to put your business on this platform, you can email us at evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. And we have different links to other affiliates, www.linktree.com/Evolution of London. And that's different links to other affiliates. And if you want to make a free will offering to us, a small little donation through our PayPal account, again, that's evolutionoflondon@gmail.com. And also we have other links for you to check out and subscribe to, like www.patreon.com/Evolution of London. There you'll find different videos that's not posted on YouTube, as well as digital artwork, and we do consulting services as well. So that's www.patreon.com/Evolution of London. And we on Rumble as well, rumble.com. You just type in the Oracle 19. You have videos that is there also. So definitely like, subscribe, and share to that. You can shop online to our baby shopping mall, which is www.evolutionoflondon.com. We have a whole wide range of products. Men's, kids, ladies' clothes, jewelry, artwork, house products, and much, much more. So that's evolutionoflondon.com. And also evolutionoflondon.org, O-R-G. There you find custom clothes, accessories, and ebooks for business as well as personal use. evolutionoflondon.org. And finally, www.evolutionoflondon.store, S-T-O-R-E. You'll find games, DVDs, more clothes, lotions, soaps. evolutionoflondon.store. Check out the company Royalty 9 International. They make homemade candles, 100% soy wax, 12-ounce jars, from scented to unscented. Now, the scented candles is from frankincense, myrrh, jasmine, eucalyptus, rose, vanilla, just to name a few. So if you want to place an order, you can email the company at royalty9international@gmail.com. So definitely support them. And you can also find them through social media, Instagram and TikTok, Royalty9 International. Over 35 plus burning time. Very good quality candles. Again, it's Royalty9 International. Mr. Will, he's been a fitness consultant for over 15 years. So if you want to book a consultation, email him. healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. That's healthfitnessconsultant1@gmail.com. And also support his merchandise, www.wjaaccessories.com for custom clothes, accessories, and digital products as well. www.wjaaccessories.com. DJ Panthro, he's an international DJ, so if you want to book for him to come to your venue, email him, djpanthro519@gmail.com. Again, that's djpanthro519@gmail.com. Panthro, Panthro, 519@gmail.com. And you can find him on social media, YouTube, DJ Panther 519. I need your guys to like, subscribe, and share to that. And you can find him on Instagram and TikTok as well. And his bonus platform on TikTok is The Real DJ Panther. That's D-A, The Real DJ Panther. Again, it's DJ Panther. Music. Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. We have a whole wide range of different beats. So once you go to his platform on YouTube, you will see his other social media sites. So I need your guys to like, subscribe, and share to Cheap Limousine channel on YouTube. And continuing to train on YouTube is the Greatness 19 channel. That's our educational channel. Open up your third eye, as we have over 680 shows approaching 700. So I need your guys to like, subscribe, and share to the Greatness 19 channel, as well as Mr. Evolution of London. That's our health and wellness channel. As we grow there, I need your guys to like, subscribe, and share to Mr. Evolution of London. Check out Cindy's Place. She has custom clothes, accessories, digital products as well. Check her website at www.cindysplace.org. Again, that's www.cindysplace.org. Now the Oracle 19 is on all major platforms. We're on iHeartRadio, Google, Apple, Spotify for podcasters, Spotify, Amazon Music, just to name a few. So any information I haven't mentioned will be in the description box of the Oracle 19, the Greatness 19 channel, Mr. Evolution of London. Both of those are on YouTube. Rumble.com, just type in the Oracle 19. And finally, www.theoracle19radio.com. All right, well, as usual, I always give my perspective / opinion on different topics. New year, new beginning. Nothing has changed as we roll along on our fourth season here. You still a slave. You still a slave. And I'm going to basically more general as human beings. My question from me to you, are you a slave? Are you still a modern day slave? And the answer is yes, because look at the society that we are in. Let's start with work. Prime example. You work every day, you put in the hours so you have to pay your bills. And it's like a revolving door. You're just going in circles. Paying for everything. And the job that you work at, they quadrupling the money. They making so much money off of you, but paying you pennies on the dollar. What do I mean? Let's say, for example, you're making, let's say, $20 an hour. The job is paying you $20 an hour. Just think of how much money they making off of you for you to work at their facility. Believe me, while they paying you $20 an hour, they making $1,000 off of you per hour. Whether that's a factory job, whether with a blue collar job, or whether it's a white collar job working in the office, pushing papers. Believe me, corporate America is making, or corporate North America is making hand over fist off of your labor. So are you a slave to the job? You gotta nowadays pay for electricity. These private corporations, you just corner the market and selling you electricity. If you don't pay your electric bill, you get cut off. So you slave that gotta keep working to pay your electric bill, or gas bill, or water bill. Now, water's supposed to be free. We all know that. We all have an understanding. But guess what? Try not to pay your water bill or any of the utility bills. Water that is free flowing all throughout the universe, or all throughout the planet Earth, and you gotta pay for it. And it was a gentleman, just on a side note, I talked about this a while ago. His last name was Moses. Man was creating water from pure water from the thin air. And magically, his machinery was compromised. Well, to put it loosely, was destroyed until he now work hand in hand with the government. Now you look him up. I forgot his first name, but I talked about him. His last name is Moses, if I'm not mistaken. And he was helping the citizens in Flint, Michigan with his machine. He was able to create water from out of thin air and purify it and it's made drinkable. And all around us is surrounded by water anyway, the air. You just broke down the molecules, manipulated the molecules to just bring the water, extract the water from the thin air, from vapor to liquid. But that's something, that's not the topic today. I just had to throw that out there. I think I have a short of him. I talked about him. Check out my short videos that I have on the Greatness 19 channel. And I believe I talk about him. Just the Greatness 19 channel. It's something just to look into. But anyway, let's pivot back to, are you a slave? You a slave to your utility bills? You're certainly a slave to getting groceries. Nowadays, let's say if you have a family of, let's say whether you're a single person or you have a family of 3 or 4, on the average, give or take, people is paying per week for food every bit from $200 a week to $400 a week, or $500 a week, I should say, depending on the family amount of people in your house. I know on the regular, most people I talk to pay at least about $300 a week for food on the average, and still they cutting corners. And you still have to work every day, or I should say Monday through Friday, so you can be able to pinch pennies and get food. So, are you a slave? And this is the cycle you have to do every week just to survive. This is what it is. Now people ask, well, what can be the solution? How can I get out of this rat race like a hamster just running in a circle? What can I do? Well, here's the thing. This is a lot of times we as citizens shoot ourselves in the foot. A lot of times we doing things on our own and we not doing things together. What do I mean? See, this society, North America, has programmed us, and I've mentioned this before, but it ties into the conversation of today. They program us to be separate. They separate from as human beings, definitely separate as gender, man and woman, because when you have a single mom, and I know I have to bring this up, and it's a teachable moment. It's not trying to bash the single mothers by no stretch of imagination, but this is just an example that I'm giving you. By separating man and woman, and in the natural order, if two people was working together, living together, that will help cut a lot of expenses, and that's still tough today. But you have a lot of single moms and raising children, and that is hard. That is virtually impossible to really survive, to really be on top in this day and time, because everything is a struggle. You have to work every day. You got to take care of the children. It's hard. You find yourself just a modern day slave going through the sands of life. I'm using that as an example, but I can also give other examples too, because we as human beings, we don't talk to our family. Our families, our blood families are separate. We don't talk to each other. We struggle alone. We struggle in silence. Because if you think about in the 200, 300 years ago, we as black people, especially in North America, was going through slavery, literally. But we were still together as a family. So even within the plantation, if our next door neighbor, our brethren, didn't have butter and the other family had bread, they will combine their resources to have butter bread, and everybody, both families in the neighborhood or the plantation, could survive because they combine forces, they combine resources. That is a dying art today. See, we need to get back to that. Combining resources. If you really look at how, as an example, corporate America, how they merge banks, they become one conglomerate. Both banks might be getting weak financially, but they find out the best thing to do is to merge. So they merge together, and then they're able to maintain strength and survive. That might be an example you might not understand, but that will help in your daily life, is networking with the right people, bonding with the right people to able to survive. Give you an example. You have people that, let's say, the cost of living is high. The price for, let's say, getting a place to live, you might have to spend $2,000 or $3,000 rent. So there's certain people that what they would do is come together, a group of 4 people, and then split the rent. Point being that you're able to survive. That take the pressure off of you. But we conditioned in this day and time to be separate and survive on our own. And it's very tough to survive on your own out here. and people are struggling to pay the bills, their gas for their car, outrageous prices to pump it, to fill up the tank every week, $150, $200. How can people survive? You find yourself gotta work, you making, let's say, $700, $800, or I'm not even saying that, the average is like maybe 500, $500 to $600 a week, if you're lucky. And then every week, all of that goes to your bills. Rent, utilities, food, DN. And the inflation, the prices are getting higher. People own homes. People throughout North America as soon as they buy a home on a Wednesday, a week later they gotta sell it. Because the mortgage is too much. The property tax is too much. The maintenance of the house is too much. Everything has skyrocketed in terms of pricing. How can you survive? So you become a slave. Modern day slave. Just working just to pay your bills. No room to save any money. No room to survive. And I'm talking about all people. How can you survive? Now, I did give you somewhat of the cheat sheet to survive. If you want to make it out here, because it's only going to get worse, not better, is to network, get back to the old school ways. Networking with people, and not necessarily in the name of love. You got it in the name of business. Too many of us, we quick to separate from each other, but not want to work hand in hand with each other. See, corporations got it right, because it's not about them loving you. How they surviving and staying rich, it's not about they love, number one, they love the workers. The workers supply a purpose. And even the rich get richer. Your Rockefellers and Rothschilds. Do you think they really love their wives? Or is it a business professional relationship? Do you think their wives really love them? I'm just asking a question. Or is it a business professional relationship for a common goal? And the males in the family, the common goal is basically, well, they treat the women like in my opinion, just a regular fixture in the house, but that's something different. But the wives stay there because they know that's the best thing, to be in that elite family. Where they going? Where they downgrading to? Downgrading to be with you or me? That's a serious downgrade. From a Rockefeller woman, a Rockefeller life. Oh, excuse me, let's say this again. A Rockefeller wife gonna leave her Rockefeller man for you or me? That sound insane. But again, the whole point is aligning yourself so you don't have to be a slave to this modern day society. You gotta find a way out here. And sometimes you gotta put down your pride for the overall objective. This might be touching, or might be a good example for some of you that's listened to this. You can apply this to your life. Others, maybe this might not make any sense to you. But the whole point is, are you a slave within the society? You might say, no, I'm not. I could do whatever I want to do. Okay, you might be one of the few. You might be exception to the rule. But the way this society is hooked up in North America, the average person don't have it like that. They got to work day in and day out, week in and week out, just to pay their bills, with no room for saving or no room to take a month off and relax, because you taking a month off or even 2 weeks, you missing out on a month paycheck or 2 weeks of a pay in which you need that bread. You need that bread. So are you a slave? This is how it is. This is what it is. But we need, as humans, to start lining ourselves up with people that is willing to work with you. And sometimes it's not about love. It's about business. That goes for man and woman. Hopefully it can grow to a respectful situation, but we in dire straits out here. We in dire straits out here. This is why there's a lot of mental illness going on. Because people is cracking. People can't take it no more. You got to work 40, 50, 60 hours a week just to take home a certain amount. What, you get lucky, $700, $800 after taxes? And pretty much 98% of that have to go into your rent or your mortgage or your utilities and your car note and food, and that's it. You'd be lucky to have $10 to your name. This is it. And it's only going to get worse because society is falling. It's not the same like it used to be. The mindset of humans is different. And to the bad as well. Nothing good out of this. So what you going to do? And especially you black folks. You definitely a slave to your job. You're a slave to the world. You are a slave to the region where you reside. You definitely need to line yourself up with the right people. Because you are considered the lowest of the totem pole within society. So you're not going to get those opportunities like people of the dominant society will. Now I know people will disagree. Even my own people will disagree, saying you could be wherever you want to be, blah, 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 blah. It's not about that. Being whoever you want to be. It's about not have to be a slave to society. And right now, majority of us black folks is definitely at the bottom feeders. And it's twice as hard for you to get out of that. So it's very important for you to start networking with people that y'all both can grow. But that's, again, a different story. Are you a slave? This is just what it is. And I know a lot of you understand this, and I know a lot of you agree, but I'm mentioning to the ones that don't understand and thinking everything is sweet out here. They don't understand. They the ones that will be suffering. Are you a slave? Yeah, are you still a slave? until you understand the region you truly reside and you can get out of that situation. You don't have to be that. How in this, see, society, government want to make sure you stay subservient, especially you black folks, because as long as you're subservient, you can't have the freedom. It's nothing like having economic freedom. That's a power move. There are only a few men, especially, definitely few black men can experience. That's what we all should be striving ourselves to be, is financially independent by any means, especially in this day and time. Especially. That's step one to get out of your mental slavery. Number two is to read, and read books that will elevate your mind, especially you black men, because that will take you out of the mental shackles. So I gave you one, financial independence. Not have to worry, not follow, don't worry about your entertainers and they pulling up in Maybachs and pulling up in Maseratis and stuff, and you drooling over those guys. No, you get on your grind, because especially in this day and time, don't worry about no one else's grind. You need to get on your grind. That's what you need to do to get out of the mental shackles of being a slave to the job. If it means getting, everything goes in this day and time. It's not about pride. Let me tell you something. If things in life turn to the left and I needed to get a job as a janitor, so be it. So be it. You say, Mr. Greatness, I seen him as a janitor working at this corporation. And I'd be so focused as a janitor, pick up a second job, security, be a security guard, so a security guard and a janitor. So what? Because guess what? If I'm doing the tabulations, the calculations in my head, I could basically make over, let's say, if I'm really grinding and doing full time on both. I mean, if I'm really on it, get take home between $1,000 and $1,200 a week. And then I say, well, I'm gonna work that for X amount of years until I able to save enough capital where I can open up something on my own, or I could publish books, or I could, get a YouTube channel, sell ebooks, something. Pivot where you can slowly not have to be a slave to this society, especially you black men. But a lot of times you worrying about the Jay-Z's of the world, the Puff Daddies, what they doing, and hating on them. No, don't worry about them. They got their money. They making their money. They ain't worrying about you. And I'm talking you specifically, black men. No disrespect to those guys, but they not, let's be for real, they not worrying about you. They worrying about their own interests. And I could flip that and say even the white men out here, your regular white folks out here, right? White men, your working class white men. You think the Rothschilds is thinking about you? Even though they white like you? No, you a poor white man. You expendable in the eyes of the elitists. They give you a little bone, of course, because you white, but you still expendable in their eyes. And you still have to work at their company and make them some money. So you're a slave in that realm as well. But you're not on the bottom of the totem pole as a black man, but you still gotta work. So if you want to survive and get yourself out the matrix, this is why they make it hard for you to get out of the matrix. Inflation is high and everything in between, and implement new laws and new ideologies, new philosophies, cause more friction within the gender wars, men and women, and all of this. So that way it could slow you down. Especially you men, it could slow you down, especially you black men, to be able to survive. Because if they put all of these roadblocks with your woman, and inflation is high and cost of living is high in general, you have a harder time to be independent. You will still have to be a slave within society, which means you are controllable. And that is people around the world. They can't make majority of people given clear-cut opportunities to be super rich. They have to have roadblocks, controversy, propaganda. Propaganda is a big business. As long as you have propaganda out here, you have smoke screens. Not loopholes, but you have smoke screens to keep your mind occupied instead of the things that you really need to do. Again, are you still a slave? See, I'm back and forth with different examples, but I'm pulling it all together. Are you still a slave? And this society is 100% capitalism. The haves and have-nots. The rich and the poor. No more middle class, because if you become middle class, gives you an opportunity to get out of the matrix, not have to be a slave within society. And that's human beings in general. So they have to eliminate the middle class to make it rich or poor. So therefore, it is harder for you to climb out of that mud that you're in financially. All of these things are smoke screens, just to make it hard for you to survive. You might not understand everything I'm talking about, but I know most of you will. That you're a slave, you're still a slave. So you have to learn to take it back to the early days and start really networking with people that maybe could put you in the direction to get free food. Maybe to put you in the direction of not have to have high utility bills. Prime example, let's say cable we know is a ripoff. If you deal with regular cable services and you want let's say the best package that they can give you, where phone, internet, and TV phone, house phone, internet, TV, that package can cost you, for your cable bill, $300 a month. If you especially have multiple TVs. That's a big hustle with the cable company. But if you had an Android box, you pay a couple of $100 for that, and you don't have to pay again. You get internet, regular internet, and now instead of paying $300 for cable service, you pay nothing but regular internet because you got the Android box. So you potentially save an extra $140. I'm sorry, extra $240, give or take. Little things like that. See, and then food. If you, let's say, for example, able to go to a local food bank, taking your pride out of this conversation. You have to learn to survive. You getting stuff for the food bank and take your pride out of it, you could find yourself saving a couple $100 a month, because now you're dealing with saving money on food, going to the food bank. Take yourself out of still being a slave to your food. I'm just using that as an example. But there's many other examples. Bonding with certain family, friends, or foe, which y'all have a great understanding together and y'all tight, and maybe you can get food or resources from your next door neighbor or your family member of yours, and that could save you a lot of time, taking you out of the matrix. Again, just giving examples that help you take the shackles, the mental shackles off of being a slave. So hopefully this can help you or inspire you, or you might say, yeah, I know this, Mr. Greatness, but this might be information that you could pass it to family, friends, or foe that will need this. They need to understand this. They just figure, the ones that don't really understand this, figure, oh, I could just work very hard and hope for the best. You got a lot of people with that mentality. But if you want to survive out of here, the moral of the story, and take yourself from the shackles, the mental shackles, you need to network. You need to bond with people in general. That's part of networking that can help you get out of this mental shackle that's here in modern day society. And you might have to step up your game as a man, get another square job so it could give you an opportunity to advance. Again, hopefully I'm not babbling, but I just want to give you my perspective of, are you still a slave? And if so, how are you getting out of this? So, what are you going to do to be a better you? How are you going to get out of this slave trade? Or I even say trade, just this slavery, modern day slavery. How are you going to get out of it? How are you going to escape from this? What is your game plan? What say you? Thank you for listening.